Welcome to the rapid-fire game that puts high school students on the academic playing field. It's WHIO. Here's your host, Mike Hartsock.
Hello once again, everybody, and welcome to another game of WHIO. Should be a good one today between our returning champions from Beavercreek up on top against the Shawnee Braves. Shawnee lost in the semifinals of our playoffs a year ago. So we should have a good game today between these two. Let's check out how it's played. Our game is 4 rounds. In the first round, each question is worth 10 points. You buzz in first. You correctly answer it, you get the 10 points. If you incorrectly answer, the other team can buzz in and give the correct answer and steal those 10 points away. So teams, if you're ready, here we go. Hands on your buzzers. Let's play WHIO. Both of our state and our federal government have 3 main branches: judicial, executive, and legislative. Each has its own authority. It was designed this way so that no one branch could dominate either of the others. Allie from Shawnee.
Checks and balances?
Yes. Separation of powers, also checks and balances. That's correct for 10 points. What man was sent by God to be the spokesperson for the Hebrews to obtain Steve from Beavercreek?
Moses.
Moses is correct for 10 points. Okay, look up at your monitors now. On the outline map are states of our nation. Steve from Beavercreek.
New Hampshire.
The one colored in is New Hampshire. That is correct. He made his money in steel in one of his major philanthropic projects. Joey from Beavercreek.
J.D. Rockefeller.
Incorrect. Let me finish the question for Shawnee. One of his major philanthropic projects was endowing community libraries. Who was he? Jason.
Andrew Carnegie.
Andrew Carnegie is correct for 10 points. What is the capital city of the island continent and nation of Australia? Kevin from Beavercreek.
Canberra.
Canberra is correct for 10 points. Name the Ohio city which now is the home to the Rock and Roll Museum. Jessica from Shawnee.
Cincinnati?
No, that's incorrect. Beavercreek, a chance to steal. Steve.
Cleveland.
Cleveland is correct for 10 points. This woman courageously refused to give up her seat to Mike from Shawnee. Let me finish the question for Beavercreek. To a white person on December 1st, 1955 in Montgomery, Alabama. This led to the boycott and brought major national attention to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., who came to her support. What was her name? Steve?
Rosa Parks.
Rosa Parks is correct for 10 points. This amendment to our U.S. Constitution protects us all by demanding that specific search warrants be required before authorities can search our homes, cars, etc. Steve from Beavercreek.
Fourth.
The Fourth Amendment is correct. What is the name of the organization whose initials are WNBA? Steve from Beavercreek.
Women's National Basketball Association.
That is correct. One of the few basketball associations playing now with the NBA out. This major river empties into the Gulf of California, but it begins in the mountains. Steve from Beavercreek.
The Colorado.
Incorrect. Let me finish the question for Shawnee. It begins in the mountains of Colorado. On its way to sea, it has formed a major landmark in northern Arizona. What is this landmark called? Mike from Shawnee.
Grand Canyon.
That's the Grand Canyon, correct for 10 points. Eli Whitney invented it, and it changed the alley from Shawnee.
The cotton gin.
He invented the cotton gin. That's correct. Fe is the symbol for what element? Allie from Shawnee.
Iron.
It's the symbol for iron. That's correct. These mythological creatures were half human and half horse. Joey from Beavercreek.
Centaurs.
A centaur is correct for 10 points. Roald Amundsen led a Norwegian expedition, and on December 14th, Steve from Beavercreek.
South Pole.
That's correct. He reached the South Pole. During this week in our history, 1773, a party of young Americans disguised themselves as Native Americans. Joey from Beavercreek. The Boston Tea Party. They sneaked aboard some British ships. That's correct. This French engineer was born this week in history. He designed and gave his name to a famous tower in Paris. Anita from Beavercreek.
Eiffel?
Yeah, Gustave Eiffel. That is correct for 10 points. What is the official name for the human breastbone? Mike from Shawnee.
Sternum.
That's the sternum. That's correct. This formerly small town west of the Mississippi is now known as Nashville West. In what state is Branson, a growing home of Steve from Beavercreek.
Arkansas.
Incorrect. Let me finish the question for Shawnee. A growing home of country western music. Jason.
Missouri.
That's in Missouri. Branson, Missouri. That's correct. What is the name for the amount of water or water vapor that is in the air? Joey from Beavercreek.
Humidity.
That's humidity. Correct. Which part of the eye gives color to the eye? Jessica from Shawnee.
Iris.
The iris is correct for 10 points. The legal minimum age for a person to be eligible to vote in Steve from Beavercreek
18.
in Ohio is 18. That is correct. In the early days, long before roads and highways, what natural geographic feature often served, Jason from Shawnee?
Rivers.
Rivers served as a type of major highway, which often with growing cities located near it. That's correct. This composer's reputation suffered because many of his works and operas were among the favorites. Didn't get that one in. We at the end of our first round of competition between Beavercreek and Springfield-Shawnee. On the scoreboard, the Beavers have an early lead, 130 to 95, but still 3 rounds left to play. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back, everybody. Let's check out the score after one round. Good game today between Beavercreek and Springfield-Shawnee. Have to correct our scoreboard a little bit. Beavercreek leads 130 to 90 after one round, and it's time now to meet our two teams. Let's start out up on the top row with the Beavercreek Beavers. Anita, introduce yourself for us.
Hello, my name is Anita Roy, and I'm a senior at Beavercreek.
My name is Kevin Miller. I'm a senior.
Hi, I'm Joey DeLong, and I'm a junior.
My name is Steve Fiore, and I'm a sophomore.
Okay, down on the bottom row from Springfield-Shawnee, Allie, start us off.
My name is Allie Ark. I go to Shawnee, and I'm a junior.
My name is Jason Shirey, and I'm a junior also.
I'm Michael Taylor, and I'm a junior at Shawnee.
I'm Jessica Brooks, and I'm a junior.
Okay. Something about an anniversary at Springfield-Shawnee. Jason, what's that all about?
Yes, this year is our 40th anniversary for Shawnee High School.
All right. Pretty good. Second round competition is our bonus round, and we'll ask 10-point toss-up questions. You buzz in and correctly answer. You then get up to 3 more extra credit bonus questions for as much as 30 additional points to teams. If you're ready, here we go. Here's your first toss-up question. This New York City department store still sponsors Joey from Beavercreek.
Macy's.
Macy's is correct for 10 points, and Beavercreek a chance to have some extra credit questions. Nearly all cultures have had some form of religion and higher beings. For 5 points, who was the supreme god for the Greeks?
Zeus.
Zeus is correct. For 10 points, in ancient Rome, the god of war was?
Mars.
That's correct. And for 15 points, the supreme god of the early Germans?
Tyr.
No, Woden was the correct answer. Another 10-point toss-up question. In 1902, she created the characters Flopsy, Mopsy, and Cottontail. Allie from Shawnee.
Beatrix Potter.
That is correct for 10 points, and bonus questions for Shawnee. Are you street smart? Let's find out. For 5 points, a street in New York City famous for the stock exchange and many business
Wall Street.
offices.
Wall Street.
Wall Street is correct. For 10 points, a street in New York City where many advertising and public relations firms are located.
Times Square.
No, that's
Fifth Avenue.
Madison Avenue is what we were looking for. Another 10-point toss-up question. What is the common factor which unites the following corporate names? Braniff, Airflot, Lufthansa, Allie from Shawnee.
They're all acronyms.
No, incorrect. Let me finish it for Beavercreek. Lufthansa, Northwest, and JAL. Steve.
They're all airlines.
They all are or were airlines. That's correct. And bonus questions for Beavercreek. There are 7 continents in the world. For 5 points, name 2 of them.
Asia and Europe.
Asia and Europe is correct. For 10 points, name 3 more.
Australia, Antarctica, and North America.
That's correct. And for 15 points, give me the other 2.
South America and Africa.
That is correct. Nice job, 30 points on that one. Here we go. Another 10-point toss-up. A straight line drawn from side to side through the center point of a circle is called Joey from
Diameter.
Beavercreek. Pardon me?
Diameter.
The diameter is correct for 10 points. Okay, bonus questions coming up now for Beavercreek. How's your biblical literacy? For 5 points, an Old Testament man who spent time in a lion's den.
Daniel.
Daniel is correct. For 10 points, The young man and follower of St. Paul to whom Paul wrote several letters.
Timothy.
Timothy is correct. And for 15 points, the Old Testament prophet who incurred Jezebel's wrath.
Elijah.
Elijah is correct. Nice job, 30 points there. Here we go, another 10-point toss-up question. Over the years, this organization has tried to control oil prices and supplies. Beavercreek.
OPEC.
OPEC is correct for 10 points. And bonus questions now coming for the Beavers. The G7 are the 7 major financial nations that meet twice a year to try and solve the world's economic problems. For 5 points, name any 2 of those countries.
The United States and Canada.
That's correct. For 10 points, give me 3 more.
Italy, Germany, and France.
That's correct. And for 15 points, the final 2.
The Great Britain and Japan.
That is correct. 30 points. Another 10-point toss-up question. Originally known as Guido de Pietro, this Dominican friar painted with scientific perspective, but also with a most graceful style. One of his most famous works is called The Annunciation. By what name was he mostly known? Allie from Shawnee.
El Greco.
No, incorrect. Beavercreek, chance to steal. Steve.
Rembrandt.
No, Fra Angelico. Another 10-point toss-up. All rights not enumerated are retained by the individual citizen. Joey from Beavercreek.
States.
No, incorrect. Let me finish the question for Shawnee. All rights not enumerated are retained by the individual citizen of the U.S. according to which amendment of our Constitution? Which amendment?
Second.
No, it was the 9th Amendment.
That was ninth.
Another
Okay.
10-point toss-up. Plant cells contain these. They are the site of... Mike from Shawnee.
Chlorophylls.
Let me finish the question for Beavercreek. They are the site of photosynthesis. What part of the plant cell is this?
The chloroplast.
Chloroplast is correct, and bonus questions coming for Beavercreek. Have you studied your literary lore? Let's see. For 5 points, who did Mark Antony love?
Cleopatra.
That's correct. For 10 points, who did the Duke of Windsor love?
Queen Victoria.
No, Wallace Warfield Simpson. Another 10-point toss-up question. What is the official name for the house that Ruth built? Steve from Beavercreek.
Yankee
That
Stadium.
is Yankee Stadium correct, and bonus questions coming for Beavercreek. Humans die by a variety of means. What was the method of death for these people? For 5 points, how was Jesus executed?
Crucified.
He was crucified. For 10 points, how was Socrates
Hemlock
executed?
poison.
Poisoning by hemlock.
He drank hemlock. And for 15 points, how was Carla Faye Tucker executed?
Lethal injection.
Lethal injection is correct. Nice job, 30 points. And that's the end of our second round. Let's check out the score one more time. Beavercreek's built a big lead, 330 to 105. We'll be back with more right after this. Welcome back, everybody. Let's check out our score of today's game after 2 rounds between Beavercreek and Shawnee. The Beavers up on top, 330 to 105. Dr. Jim Uphoff joins us, a professor emeritus at Wright State University. Good to see you again.
Good to be here, Mike. Welcome both teams. Shawnee was in our playoffs last year, and Beavercreek's always had a strong team. Glad to have them both here.
All right, thank you very much. Let's play rapid fire now, our third round of competition. Each team gets 1 minute to answer as many 10-point questions as they can. Any questions they incorrectly answer or pass on, the other team can correctly answer those and steal those 10 points. Shawnee, you're trailing right now. Your categories, you're going to go first. Your categories will be proverbial, it is written, or flicks. Allie, what's it going to be?
We're going to go with It Is Written.
It is written. Okay, listen closely, Beavercreek. The following books are taken from the Modern Library's list of 100 greatest books. I'll give you the book's title. You tell me the author's name for 10 points each. Here we go. The Great Gatsby.
Scott Fitzgerald.
Catch-22.
Heller.
The Way of All Flesh.
Pass.
The Heart is a Lonely Hunter.
McCullers.
Appointment in Samara.
O'Connor.
Incorrect. Grapes of Wrath.
Steinbeck.
The Golden Bowl.
Conrad.
Incorrect. The Bridge of San Luis Rey.
Pass.
Deliverance.
Pass.
Nostromo. Nostromo.
Pass.
Portnoy's Complaint.
Roth.
Correct. Parade's End.
Pass.
From Here to Eternity.
Pass.
I, Claudius.
Pass.
A House for Mr. Biswas.
Pass.
That's it. 15 questions. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So a chance for Beavercreek to steal some answers here. The Way of All Flesh.
Smith.
No, Samuel Butler. Appointment in Samara.
We have no idea.
John O'Hara. The Golden Bowl.
Taylor.
Henry James. The Bridge of San Luis Rey.
No idea.
Thornton Wilder. Deliverance.
No.
James Dickey. Nostromo.
No.
Joseph Conrad. Parade's End.
Faulkner.
No, Ford Maddox Ford. From Here to Eternity.
No.
That was James Jones. I, Claudius.
Shakespeare.
Was Robert Graves. And A House for Mr. Biswas.
Faulkner.
No, B.S. Napal. Okay. Your turn, Beavercreek, to play. Shawnee's turn to listen closely. Proverbial or flicks? What's it going to be, Kevin?
Flicks.
Flicks it is. Flicks or movies are of interest to many. Name as many of these 15 films of 1998 as you can within 1 minute. Here we go. The director was Spielberg. It was about World War II.
Saving Private Ryan.
Vince Vaughn and Anne Heche, film set in Malaysia.
Oh, Return of Paradise.
Correct. Robert De Niro is a guerrilla air conditioning repairman.
Ronin.
Incorrect. Spin-off of a 1960s TV series. Cast includes Sean Connery.
The Avengers.
Correct. A Jamaican vacation for a 40-year-old proves revitalizing.
Got a
Got a
groove.
groove back.
Wesley Snipes is in a film about a sort of a
Blade.
vampire. The Tacky Side of 90210 stars Alan Arkin.
Pass.
Pass.
A bigamist, pop singer, and drug abuse with Little Richard.
Pass.
Mel Gibson and Danny Glover again and again and again.
Lethal Weapon 4.
An asteroid movie with Bruce Willis.
Armageddon.
A May-September love story in icy water.
Titanic.
That's correct. Eddie Murphy plays a straight man to a menagerie of voice actors.
Dr. Dolittle.
An outrageous romantic comedy that is not politically correct.
Primary colors.
Incorrect. 13 questions, 1, 2, 3. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 that you didn't get. So Shawnee has a chance to steal. Robert De Niro is a guerrilla air conditioning repairman. The movie was Brazil. The Tacky Side of 90210, it stars Alan Arkin. I don't think many people went to see this. The Slums of Beverly Hills. A bigamist, pop singer, and drug abuse with Little Richard. That is Why Do Fools Fall in Love, and an outrageous romantic comedy that is not politically correct.
Bulworth.
What?
Bulworth.
Bulworth, no. Something About Mary was what we were looking for. And we're at the end of 3 rounds of our competition today. Let's check out the score one more time. Beavercreek with a big lead heading into the final exam, 420 to 160. We'll be right back. We've played 3 rounds. There's 1 to go today in our game between the Beavercreek Beavers and Springfield-Shawnee Braves. Beavercreek on top right now, 420 to 155. Every question in our final exam worth 20 points. The teams, let's get right to it. Here we go. Stars produce energy from nuclear reactions, primarily the fusion of hydrogen. Jason from Shawnee.
Helium.
Hydrogen and helium. That's correct for 20 points. Our Constitution now limits our presidents to only 2 consecutive terms in office. Which amendment to the Constitution? Kevin from Beavercreek.
The 22nd.
The 22nd Amendment made this change to a 2-term limit. This woman deprived the biblical character Samson of his unusual strength. Allie from Shawnee.
Delilah.
Delilah cut his hair off. That's correct. Look at the studio monitors now. The nation highlighted on the blank. Steve from Beavercreek.
Brazil.
That is Brazil. Correct. The capital city of the South American nation of Paraguay. Kevin from Beavercreek.
Asuncion.
Asuncion is correct for 20 points. All of the highway signs in the Plains states seem to point to Wall Drugs in the small town of Wall. In what state is Wall located? Kevin from Beavercreek.
South Dakota.
That's in South Dakota. That's correct for 20 points. What is the geographic name given to the relatively dry area on the... Jason from Shawnee.
Gobi Desert.
No, let me finish the question for Beavercreek. Given to the relatively dry area on the leeward side of a range of mountains. Steve.
Rain shadow.
Rain shadow is correct for 20 points. In language, what is a concise and witty statement of wisdom? Joey from
Epigram.
Beavercreek. Pardon me?
Epigram.
No, let me finish the question for Shawnee. In language, what is a concise and witty statement of wisdom or advice called? Example, a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. Jason.
Witticism.
No, it's an aphorism. What is the very light-sensitive membrane which lines the back of the human eye called? Steve from Beavercreek.
The retina.
That's the retina, correct. The celebration of the Lord's Supper of communion is called by a specific name. Joey from Beavercreek.
Eucharist.
Eucharist is correct for 20 points. Some tests you take compare your score to thousands of other scores all across the nation. Joey from Beavercreek.
Standardized.
No, let me finish the question for Shawnee. Below, above, and average ranks are determined. Are these types of tests called norm-referenced, criterion-referenced, or assessment tests? Allie.
Assessment?
No, they're norm-reference tests. General Pershing described him as the greatest civilian soldier of the war, World War I, that is. He won the Medal of Honor and was made famous in movies and books. Who was this sergeant? Steve from Beavercreek.
Alvin York.
Sergeant York, that is correct for 20 points. During World War II, this leader of the American Army Band was declared missing on a flight. Steve from Beavercreek.
Glenn Miller.
Glenn Miller is correct for 20 points. Although he became deaf in midlife, he continued to compose. Joey from Beavercreek.
Beethoven.
Beethoven is correct for 20 points. It was during this week in 1903 that these young men from Dayton, Ohio, Joey from Beavercreek.
Orville and Wilbur Wright.
Yeah, they first recorded flights in a powered aircraft, Orville for 12 seconds, Wilbur for 60 seconds. This famous writer is best remembered for his satire, Gulliver's Travels. Joey from Beavercreek.
Swift.
Jonathan Swift is worth 20 points. Debaters have to study a given question or issue and be prepared to argue on either side of that question. What names are used for those two sides? Anita from Beavercreek.
Affirmative and negative.
That is correct for 20 points. Mental math time now. Listen carefully. Subtract 150 from 500. Divide by 10. Add 15. And then divide by 5. Anita from Beavercreek.
10.
The answer is 10. That's good. Correct for 20 points. This human body system forms the body's supporting framework. Kevin from Beavercreek.
Skeletal system.
The skeletal system is correct for 20 points. In Act 1 of Hamlet, the words, "Something is rotten in the state of Denmark," are spoken by the guard outside the royal palace when whose apparition appears? Anita from Beavercreek.
Polonius.
No, incorrect. Shawnee, a chance to steal. Allie?
Hamlet's father?
And no, it was Hamlet is what we were looking for. So that's the end of our game today between Beavercreek and Springfield-Shawnee. We'll be back to figure out the final score right after this. Welcome back, everybody. We're done with today's game between the Beavercreek Beavers and the Braves from Springfield-Shawnee. On the scoreboard, 720 points, an all-time high Q record for Beavercreek as they make it 2 wins in a row. Beavercreek will now take on Arcanum next week in another round of high Q. Shawnee, thank you very much for playing, and best of luck to you in the future. We'll see you next week as Beavercreek takes on Arcanum in another round of high Q. We'll see you then.